Once upon a time, there was a tuk-tuk named Thomas.
Adam and Dan, unrelated, Jackson's talking.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Adam. How are you? I'm good, thanks.
I didn't ask how you were.
Well,
Yes, I did. Hang on. Let's start that again.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, that's
I'm
pretty
alright.
good. That's
Yeah.
pretty
How
good.
you going?
Well, I already said I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
rolling along here.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go get a Tatsalotto ticket.
I reckon life could be a dream.
Shaboom, shaboom.
Yeah. Imagine.
Have you been spending your time lately, Adam?
Spending it abroad. I've just got back from the what did they call it? The Queen's Jewel or something? What did they call India back when English ruled it?
Blue balls.
I came back from blue balls.
Curry
And
balls.
Boy, do my arms hurt. No, I've been in India.
Inside India. Excellent.
I've been inside India, and got back, and now my my stomach's all sorts of wonderful, and each bowel movement's another surprise in life.
Whoa! What, like a miracle or a literally
No,
a
like
surprise? I never know what's going to happen.
Like a lucky dip, yeah.
A lucky dick. Yeah.
No.
How
Dip.
are you? I'm good, thanks.
Hey, Daniel.
What's going on? What have you been up to? You've been
I've been
a lady. You've been abroad.
I've had blue balls in abroad, and boy, are my dips hurting.
And you've been lubricating your anus.
And my bowel
frequently.
movements fill me with joy and fill the toilet with something else.
You can't keep them all, Adam. You can collect them, but
It's
you
like
shouldn't keep
Pokemon.
them. Exactly.
You need to train them, and then someday they'll grow and evolve.
So, what's your takeaway from blue balls compared to,
India.
say,
Yeah.
Malaysia balls?
Yeah. Much more people want my money. Everybody wants my money.
The perfect kind of holiday destination.
I don't I don't have a lot of money, but everybody wants my money. And what's interesting about it, like, is not just like the, hey, buy this piece of tat for 7 times what I paid for it, but it's the schemes too. It's the schemes. So, like, it's something, on the basic level, it's, if you get a car or a taxi or a tuk-tuk or something, tuk-tuk, and you want to, go around for a while, and then they'll go, oh, by the way, for really great shopping, there's this one shop, not many people know about it, but there's this really great shop, and, he takes him to his cousin Frankie's house.
Yep.
And I had one guy, it was really sad. I was walking into a Hindu temple, I think, and some guy who said he worked there or lived there or something came up and we were chatting about stuff. And he started talking about this wonderful place. He said, oh, you don't buy your clothes and stuff here. No, not in the city, No, you've got to go into the mountains. Because in the mountains there's this place. And he kept repeating the name. I've forgotten it now. But it was like the Women's Corporate Society or something. And he was saying it's all these old women and widows and people like that.
Retired hookers.
They're making the clothes, weaving it, dyeing it, and so on. And all the money goes to them. They don't go to some, fat cat in Washington or anything like that. And the widows keep all the money. And so, and he said, oh, look, even if you don't want clothes, it's really something to behold. It should be amazing. So, and here's the thing, there's a few people that talk about these things, and whenever you say, oh yeah, I might check that out later, they'll go, oh, no, now's the very best time to have a look. Look, I'll get you a taxi and you can go. No, that's cool. Thanks for the info. I'll check it out later. No, you've got to check it out now. And they get really desperate, saying how wonderful it is for you to go to that shop at this particular time in the day. or no other. And I'm like, I'd just like to have a wander down the street. The street's rubbish at this time. Come back in the evening for that. Anyway, so this guy sends me it up in a tuk-tuk and says, yeah, go to the women's corporate society.
You did
thing. And he said, you got to look for the yellow building. It's going to be amazing. And I go there, and it's just a clothes shop. It's just, you got your saris and your pashminas and all that. But, like, literally just a place where they sell your clothes and make clothes for you. And I didn't need any clothes. I wanted to see widows making... I don't know what I wanted to see, actually. I was just being polite. But, like, out the front, there was a man to meet me at the door. So obviously this guy had immediately got on the phone and talked to this guy, saying, I'm sending one your way. Give me my commission.
Yeah.
And, I had to look for the polite amount of time, and then I left as quickly as I could without buying anything. But,
What? So you didn't even make a Sympathy purchase?
Nah, I'd gotten over that. I was for a while, but no. If you make Sympathy purchases all the time, then you're not. It's not Sympathy anymore. You just broke.
Right. So you didn't... Sorry.
Yeah? No.
I'm really sorry.
I was just going to say, it makes you... What?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Okay, I finished. You now.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I liked that. I liked that little sentence of yours.
Talk.
It makes you paranoid because, you don't want to be a dickhead. You don't want to be, a xenophobe. Well, I mean, what's the opposite of a xenophobe? Fear of locals. I don't know.
Xena.
Well, Hercules is the opposite of Xena, I guess.
Of course.
But you don't want to be rude and you don't want to be, touristy. So, you read things about India, especially some towns, and they say, oh, look, the locals, they're always really happy to, talk, and they're really interested in Westerners. They'd love to know your stories. They love to share a chai with you and all this and all that. But the reality is you're just exceptionally paranoid the entire time. Like, I had this very friendly guy come up to me, and he said he was a media person, and we had organised, I think, to see a movie together that night. He never showed up. And I didn't expect him to, which is the saddest thing, because at some point in the conversation, he was like telling me some places that I should go, and he's like, oh, I can call you a taxi if you want. And I said, no, that's fine. And he looked just ever so slightly disappointed. And I'm like, I to this day don't know whether he was just a nice guy interested in cinema or whether he was trying to get me to go and look at elephants or something. I don't know.
Well, I know where I'd put my money, and it wouldn't be on the friendliness. Because
isn't that sad?
Well, it's just the nature of the scam.
No, I understand that, but I mean, surely at some point somebody must have. Because, I mean, this was in, like, reputable travel guides where they said the locals are really friendly. So somebody must have had people being friendly to them. Unless they were just too dumb to notice they'd been fleeced and just wrote about it anyway. What a lovely bunch of people those Indians are. For some reason, I bought 75 pashminas, but they're still lovely.
Well, you know what? Probably when was that travel guide written? A couple of years ago, maybe?
How old's the internet?
Okay. Well... How old's the piece of string?
Wow.
Whenever the last person made it, or
so
all I'm wondering is if some of the scammy people are reading these reviews and going, oh, that's a good place to go and be a nice person and then scam people.
Yeah, maybe, but it a little bit affected my trip because I just didn't want to talk to anyone by that point. Like,
yeah, and
it's like. And it really does. But then I realised I was walking through a shopping centre yesterday, and I realised it's exactly the same here. Because I was walking through a shopping centre, and some lady in front of a booth was like, hey, how you going? Oh, that's a nice T-shirt. You want to come and have a chat?
Did you expect them to be your best friend?
Well, no, but here's the thing. That was the only person that talked to me that day. The only stranger that talked to me that day was selling something. And... I think, and I'm too chicken shit to do this, if some stranger looked at me as I was walking by and said, hey, how you going? I like your shirt. Yo, do you want to come and have a chat? And wasn't selling anything, I'd really enjoy that.
That's never going to happen.
But it's nearly there. You know, like there was that phenomenon for a while where people were giving away free hugs. Do you remember that?
No, we don't have hugs where I live.
Oh,
let alone free ones.
Oh, we don't do hugs. We don't back east.
Tell me about your hugs, though.
Well, I didn't have any hugs. I just heard of this phenomenon that
on the internet.
The free, yeah.
Yeah,
That's really old,
yeah, exactly.
About the free hug T-shirts and people just going up giving hugs to people. But like, I mean, I guess I do it though as part of my job. I do it because I get paid to do it. You know, I'll dress up in a funny costume and I'll say, "Hey, how you going? Nice shirt. Yay, happy Christmas, whatever." But I think if people did that to me genuinely, I'd be wrapped for a while.
What?
Then I get over it.
Well, yes, and I think in the example of the lady saying, "Would you like to come over and chat?" You know, there's a genuine exchange that could happen there. You get to talk to somebody, and they sell you the crappy product that you don't need.
Mm.
But I think over in touristy areas, at least, you know, I'm going to be sus of everybody that's super friendly to me, especially in India, because of the other stories that I've heard of people that are just trying to be really nice to you and just want to get to know you. Like, I think that's the exact wrong place to get to know a stranger, a local stranger.
But at the same time, and you asked at the start the difference between India and Malaysia, there's a lot less white people. A lot less white people. So I don't know if I ever told you, when I was in Malaysia, somebody wanted to... No, when I was in Bali, some little local girl wanted to have a photo with me. And I don't know whether because I was white or if I looked like Tom Cruise or anything.
Did you charge her for it?
$7. But yeah, in India, literally people would stare at you as you were walking down the street. Those are the ones that, you know, didn't want to sell you stuff. They would just stare, and like little kids would they'd wave at you. You know, some of them were really rude, but some of them were just like, "Oh, it's a white person." They'd come up and they'd say hello, and if you said hello back, they'd go off giggling because a white person talked to them. You know, like
that's fun though.
Yeah, and some of them, of course, were just taking the piss, but others weren't. But I mean, you are such a novelty there that you know it's not out of the blue. So I guess in that regard, there would be the potential to have strangers come up and talk, but it's just buried underneath a huge layer of paranoia.
So when that happened, was that not a touristy area? Because I imagine if it's a touristy area, all the people there are just used to all the tourists.
In where I got the photo taken?
Well, where there's little kids going and like staring at you like you've walked out of a horror movie.
These are cities. These are major cities. I only went to New Delhi and Jaipur. Jaipur is about 4 hours away from New Delhi, but it's... I mean, it's not a tourist destination in that there's no theme parks, but if you look up on the internet, what's a good place to go in India, Jaipur would be well up there.
Huh.
So, yeah.
So, a mate of mine went to India, and I'm not sure where this particular incident happened. So, I guess he's walking around. He's got his Canon SLR hanging around his neck, and la-di-da-di-da, him and his girlfriend. So, this tuk-tuk drives past him and drives over, it was like maybe... a pile of like this white stuff or a bottle of it, and somehow it ended up splashed onto his clothes, and there was another local there, and he comes up to him and he's helping him out, and he's wiping this white stuff. I don't think I have a sperm joke in there, but he's like, "Oh, sorry, this is all mine and my fault." So he's wiping that off, helping him out, asking him about, you know, how are you, and he's very friendly, very genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And as my mate Tim, he's sort of like, he's a bit. You're a bit flustered in this sort of situation, right?
That's right. You've just been white stained.
Yeah, and so happens to the best of us.
Wow.
You just got to stay away from the UV lights, or you'll be sprung. And somehow it ended up that. This local went up and was speaking to the tuk-tuk guy or something, and blah, blah, blah. The short of it is that my friend Tim, he noticed that at some point that the strap on his camera had been cut, or like halfway cut or something. And so at that point, local and tuk-tuk owner like departed very quickly, possibly together. So there was this whole sort of scam that they had set up.
Schemes.
Yeah, we cause like we get a reason to go and get very close to this tourist with something that we want to steal. We're close enough, and we're able to like do the sleight of hand and slip off, cut the neck strap. And he had some additional attachment to his camera, luckily.
Yeah.
And created distraction, and off you go with your the thing that caused it, the tuk-tuk, is your escape vehicle. Brilliant.
It is quite amazing, isn't it? It's diabolical.
You just got to be careful out there.
Yeah, that's it.
They're out to get you.
Anyone, there's a lesson for that. If there's anyone
don't travel.
that's don't travel is the extreme of that.
Don't go outside.
Just don't everyone, please. And if you're gonna do, don't do it with a camera.
Right. Have a fake camera hanging around your neck, and that's your distraction, your dummy camera.
Imagine that, your dummy camera.
And that has blue dye that can be remotely triggered, like they have in the bags of money in banks.
And then when the blue dye gets triggered, you go over there and say, "Oh shit! Oh, that's terrible!" and start wiping off the blue dye, and then bam, that you've stolen their kidney.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. And as you run away into the sunset, he looks down and what?
Where'd my penis go?
Where did that go? Oh my god. My blue balls.
My blue balls. We do great Indian accents, by the way. Oh my god.
I can't believe it. Gonna go back to the diner and complain.
To Pegasus.
Pegasus. You got any balls behind the counter?
I ain't got no balls.
I
ain't got no balls since little Timmy was a kid.
I know you ain't got no balls. I know Timmy ain't got no balls.
Fresh.
Yeah. Can you check if mine are gone for real? I'm not sure. I can't be sure. I just might be not wearing my glasses.
Well, let me have a look. Wait a minute.
Oh, that tickles.
Daniel James Jackson.
Just what I wanted. Hey,
You're a bad man.
I'll have a chai latte, please.
Okay. Only from the tea bag. When did that word fresh become synonymous with sexual? I mean, it's obviously not this day and age, but in the 50s or something. Fresh.
Like, you're getting all fresh with me kind of thing.
Yeah. How does that work?
Like, what does it literally mean?
Well, yeah.
Like, how do you come to that point of...
How do you come to the point of saying, you squeezing my boob and running your fingers into my vagina is fresh of you?
You should write sexy erotic stories, Adam. Or possibly not.
I should 50 Shades of Grey. Yes.
He
gently run his fingers into her vagina. Fresh, she said.
Well, I think his book has kind of taken the wind out of your sails, because it pretty much seems like that is how the book goes, that kind of language.
Well, golly, I've got to have an orgasm.
Shut the door at least. I go off like a cow having birth. Twins. What would you call your book?
I'd call my book
Getting Fresh in the Country Air.
Fresh Blue Balls on a Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah.
50 Shades of Blue Balls.
50 Shades of Blue Balls. There's a book called 50. What is it? 50 Grey Sheds or something.
Right.
50 Sheds of Grey. Yeah.
Is it a picture book?
It's a parody, but it's quite good.
See.
I bought it for a wedding gift, if you can imagine. Oh,
well, yeah, I'm waiting for the story. You
no
bought it as
response
a
to
wedding.
that. Oh no, there is no story. I'm just like,
Oh, okay.
does that
Sorry,
make
I
it-
thought you were about to go. I bought it for a wedding gift, and the bride said, "Wow, that's fresh." Right, you bought it as a wedding gift.
Yeah, I didn't know. I knew the bride well, but I hadn't spent much time with the groom, and so I could buy for the bride, but for both of them, I sort of had no idea, and I was agonizing over.
Don't they have a wedding roster?
No,
wedding-
they didn't.
Bastards! You should have painted them a picture then.
Of what?
It doesn't matter. They didn't do a wedding roster. What, is that what it's called?
Let's
wedding
call
roster?
it that.
Yeah, register.
Registry.
Register.
Yeah.
They didn't have a gift register, so they fucking better well take what they get.
So I can just give
Here's
them
an
any old
ashtray I
shit.
made out of pottery. Neither of you smoke. I knew that when I made it. Enjoy.
Yeah, suffer. Here's a tissue I blew my nose into, and it doesn't actually look like Jesus. Here you go.
Well, here's a question. Just on the India theme, would you give ever somebody else, as in a couple, the Kama Sutra as a gift?
A couple. Oh well, I almost.
You almost did.
I'll come back to that question just because. So I gave them this 50 shades of grey or whatever it is.
I knew there was more to this story. Good, go on. That's why I was so silent before.
Right. You're waiting for the bit where I told you that I also gave them money, and because I didn't feel that the book might have cut it, so you just substitute it with money. It's just like a parents child relationship. If your parenting doesn't quite cut it, you just give them money and hope that fills in the gap.
Did you at least put it in the form of a gift card, or did you just give him a tenner, like as a bookmark?
A tenner. Here's $5 that I found in my pants on the way to your wedding.
Happiest day of your life.
And I felt so lucky finding the money, and I just wanted to give that luck to you guys.
You just gave them money.
No, it was in a nice card, and I wrote an accompanying note.
Oh, I see.
I said,
go.
This money is for some medication for the first person that loses their sexual functions.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, yeah, at least until you run out of money and need to start funding it yourself. But I was looking forward. I was acknowledging that this is a lifetime commitment of love and love.
Yeah.
And I wanted to help out when things came to the pointy end, the floppy end of the time
Well,
together.
I hope you worded it that way, because maybe they have more use for you than just the tenner you gave them. I want to help out when things get bad in the bedroom, guys. Love, Daniel.
Think of me.
Well, you've already given them the 50 grey shed, so that's probably pushed them over the edge anyway. They probably need to go straight to the money now.
Right. Maybe they'll buy another sexy book.
Maybe.
So your question, what was your question again?
Would you buy the Kama Sutra for that couple? To say, hey, guys, get imaginative with your rutting.
It really depends on my relationship with the couple.
Right.
Yeah, because, if you've been in a relationship with one of the couple prior to them getting married, that's kind of a weird gift.
Yeah.
So it was weird enough. Like the gift I gave was probably weird enough as it was, but it was I was getting desperate. I was just
You couldn't have even given them a gift card. You had to give it in cash.
Well, it's more flexible. Like,
No, I understand that. I love. I mean, I love the flexibility of money. I also know.
Just because sometimes people request, they're just like, we're gonna go on a honeymoon. Just give us cash.
But you weren't doing that though. You were giving sexual favor money to them.
Favors.
You should have like put in a picture of like a Russian bride or something. Say like, if things go bad, I'll give you guys this one as well.
What, as a replacement? Get your sexual
as an augmentation.
Well, I should have just gone to a brothel and got a bloody gift card from there.
Do you think that happens?
That they have gift cards, or that people
No,
go and get their gratification from somewhere else.
That would be great.
Would
okay,
it?
bear with me. Bear with me.
Bear back with you.
Bear back with me. You give out cards, and the cards have a personalized phone number, and it's like you ring up this number saying, "Oh, I've been given a gift from Daniel Jackson," and then they say, "Great, how's 10:30 tonight?" And they say, "Great," and you're cashing in your brothel gift card. They come visit you or whatever, or better still, and I think I think without knowing anything about anything, this may actually happen. Punch cards. Brothels. Buy 6, get 1 free. I don't know if that actually happens, but I did read somewhere that at the Daily Planet brothel, for frequent visitors, they give you a Daily Planet keyring.
Oh. What?
Which you would wear with pride, surely.
Well, I guess. You would hang it off like a chain off your pants or something so that people can see it.
That's it. You could attach it to the keychain in your wallet, which has like the pictures of your wife and kids in it.
Oh, yeah.
So then you've got all bases covered. Yeah, this is little Jimmy. This is little Franklin. Oh, this is the keychain for the Daily Planet, who I go every Thursday to. You see?
I remember a mate of mine, he was catching the train into the city every day to go to uni, and the train would go right past like the back car lot, or the car park that was for a brothel. And so he would be going past, it's like 12 midday, and as opposed to 11 midday, and and there's just these guys in their business suits getting out and just going into the brothel for I don't know, just
a lunch.
Hang on, are they receiving or giving the lunch?
Well, it's a long lunch, so
treat yourself.
It's a smorgasbord.
Right. Hey. Oh.
Hey.
That I like. Well, I think there's something in that. As a business
pick and mix
idea.
lolly thing or something.
What, you have like one of those little scoop things that you?
Yeah, little scoop things, and you're like, well, I'll have a couple of those.
What about like a series of glory holes, where you don't know? There's just they've got a different color wall.
Yeah,
and you just walk along to each one, and they do something different with your Ghiblies.
Yes,
and your Frankenbeans.
Your Frankenbeans and your Ghiblies.
Yeah.
Well, hang on.
No.
Isn't that like 4 things then?
Let's say they're one and the same. That you.
Okay.
You're a typical healthy male.
You're yes.
So I mean, one of them, like obviously the finish could be a BJ. Do they actually do that? I imagine.
I assume so. I think it's a fairly
basic
function of the hookers. You'd think.
Well, yeah, because I mean, with sexual intercourse, you can have there's a condom.
Yes.
With a hand job, you can wash your hands.
This is sexual education with Daniel James Jackson. Go on. So you can wash your hands with a condom? Is that what you were saying?
No. You can wash your hands after giving a hand job.
You could, yes.
Or wear rubber gloves or something.
Yes.
And with...
hazmat suit.
Yeah, but with a blowjob,
yes.
I mean, that... What do you do? Like, have...
Well, I understand, or...
You just take it.
I have heard... Why are you telling me that? No,
take it, Adam.
I've heard that...
Who'd you hear this from?
I don't know. The person giving me a blowjob. I don't know. That I've heard that they give blowjobs with condoms on.
Ah. Is that worth paying for, really?
Wow, you're quite the picky connoisseur, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm an artisanal.
That's
DJ.
it. I don't. God, a blowjob? What rubbish! Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's like fake leather in a car. It's what are you doing there? What's the point?
Fake leather in a car.
Unless you're a vegan or a vegetarian or whatever. Sure, I get that.
Right.
But most people.
This is such a far-flung analogy. You're saying getting a blowjob and having an orgasm is like if it's in a condom, like having fake leather?
That is completely not the. You've picked out the wrong bits of the
What's the bit then?
So, what's better for a guy, feeling wise?
Yes, not going to a prostitute's probably better. You know, not having to pay for it is probably better.
It's better for your self-esteem.
Exactly.
To not go there. But so a blowjob with a condom on or a blowjob with no condom? What would you prefer, Adam?
But
I'm not offering.
Couldn't you say that about every sexual act though?
Yes.
So what's your point?
My point is...
Are you going to go like, oh, sex with a condom? Whatever. No way. No sirree. I'll take my blue balls and go home.
All right, I guess so. This comes down to just occupational health and safety in the brothel.
I think so, yes.
Okay, I accept that you're not going to... you're going to get whatever you can get at a brothel if that's what it's come to.
Look, I think
no judgment implied.
At the end of the day, if you can pay enough, then they could make special arrangements, I'm sure. But
okay,
I don't think I want to.
Look, if you can pay enough, I'll offer my services with no condom.
Really? You'll. Oh,
if you can pay enough, look, everything
if I can
has
pay
a price.
Enough for you to give yourself a blowjob with a condom on, it'll happen.
I will go. I will go no condom, Adam.
You will go no condom if I paid you enough, giving yourself a blowjob.
A mate of mine was driving through a local town, Bayswater. Yes. Bayswater in Victoria, and
local town?
There's some brothel there. I think it's called like Night Moves, which is appropriating a wonderful song.
So you wouldn't go there at 11 in the midday, then, would you?
Well, a guy was, but he was driving out of it, and apparently, so this friend of mine was driving along the highway just in front of this place and saw this guy coming out in his car, but he had his head like covered with his hand. He was trying to do the like no filming, but just he was trying to obscure his identity.
So, do you reckon it was like Shane Warne or something?
No, he wouldn't be in Bayswater getting a condom ruined blowjob. But that makes me think. You know, I mean, he's driving a car with his number plate on it.
Yeah.
And people, like, what's he doing obscuring his face? Sure, he might bump into somebody. They might, walking through a shopping centre. Hey, that's the guy that was driving out of the thing. You yell across the shopping centre. That's the guy who's coming out of the brothel.
Yeah.
And he's embarrassed, but,
I think so. Well, okay, there's two possibilities. First of all...
I'd want a Batmobile, sorry.
Maybe he was a minor celebrity. Maybe he was somebody that you wouldn't know his car, but you may well know it's Dennis Walters.
Did you know?
From the radio. You never know.
Why did you have to choose Dennis Walter? Let's go with... What's his
Ian
name?
Turpey. No, he's dead.
Richard Wilkinson.
Yes, Richard Wilkins. Yes,
who has
that did it?
I discovered he has a CD album. We should explain for anyone who doesn't know. Richard Wilkins is what is he? He's like a Z grade celeb. He's not a celebrity.
He's the guru of music interview. No, he's not even. He's a celebrity interviewer, but he's like a nomad though. He doesn't seem to have a show or a network. He just floats around with a microphone interviewing celebrities at movie premieres and stuff.
And he's never won a Logie in the many, many decades he's been in the
That's
Australian
he doesn't
television.
have a show. Come on.
He could get the gold Logie and, the people's favourite, but he's not, so he doesn't.
He's not the people's favourite.
He's also famous around the world, I think, for announcing the death of a celebrity simply by gleaning this information from Twitter. He was like, there was a tweet like, such and such has died, and he went and announced it on a national Australian TV show.
Oh no! And was he wrong?
He was wrong.
Oh dear! Do you remember who the celebrity was?
It was that guy. I think it was that guy from Jurassic Park who has the glasses and the deep voice.
One of the Attenboroughs. No, was it one? Oh, what's his name? Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, I think it was him.
Yeah, that hoax has always been around. It's so funny.
So where were we before I deviated there?
Brothels again.
Brothels.
Oh no, I don't think I'm ever going to experience this, and I'm pretty sure you won't either. But I think this is my thing. Maybe it was his first time. If you were going to go to a brothel, you would be as paranoid entering and leaving there as I was walking the streets of India if it was your first time.
Yep.
Your mum might be right out the front saying, Darren, get in the car. Take off that condom and get in the car.
Get your mum to pick you up.
Yeah. It's the 18th birthday present.
I've heard where that actually happened.
Oh.
Like, they wanted to get their friend laid. Oh, no, this is probably actually a comedian telling the story. Please continue.
100% accurate then if a comedian tells it.
No,
that's all. I just think, maybe it was his first time then.
But I'm curious about ways that you could, get around this, and what precautions could you take apart from getting your mum to pick you up, which is gonna look worse if someone drives past and sees you and your mum coming out of the brothel together. Oh, do you have like a mother-son package? So you can go and experience something different with each other. It's like getting a massage one next to the other in the same room. Oh, isn't this just wonderful? Oh, yes, she's riding me so hard, Mum. Thanks so much. This is the best gift ever. Can't wait to tell Dad.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what it's like. See, I would.
Is it, Daniel? Is it?
That's how it goes. I would want either like a Batmobile type situation where I can enter via a back street or something.
Well, that's what a lot of brothels are right here. There are back entrances.
Allegedly there are.
Hey.
But those are extra.
Yes.
That's the premium option.
Double it. And double it again.
Now cough.